Okay, let's go. Sheridan Limited provides the following summary of some transactions events relevant to the business's financial year ended the 31st December 2016. Pay attention to dates, it's always important. What we've got is we've got to prepare a fully classified cash flow statement for the year ended 31st December 2016. So when we're doing a cash flow statement, we need to do what I always tell you to do when you're doing one of these questions, which is to classify. Now, when we're doing a cash flow statement, we're classifying into operating expenses, financing, not operating, it's operating, financing and investing. So we're looking for the cash flows in there. But also remember that we're going to test you to make sure that you know the difference, and there'll be some non-cash items there as well. So, in saying all that, let's go. Cash sales of inventory, that'll be operating. Cash received from accounts receivable, that's an operating activity. Credit sales of inventory, that's non-cash. Payments to suppliers, well, it's payments, so that'll be operating. Interest on term deposits, well, interest is income, so that's operating. Income taxes paid will also be operating. Issue of shares to new and existing shareholders, well, that's the financing. Loan repayments, that's financing as well. Interest on loans, so interest is an income, that's operating. Cash received from sales of investments in other entities, well, that's investing, because it's as it says, investments. Payment for the purchase of a new building is investing. Loans from ABC Bank is financing. Depreciation expense, well, depreciation we know is non-cash. Dividends to shareholders is financing. Payment of operating expenses, well, that's as it says, operating. And we've got our cash balance at the end of the previous year. So I'm just going to tick off my non-cash item there, and there's another non-cash item up there. And now I'm going to go about preparing my cash flow statement. What's the first thing we do when we're preparing a cash flow statement? Heading, yes. Titles. So, Sheridan Limited. And, Sheridan Limited. And what is it for the cash flow statement? For year ended 31st of December 2016. Now, if you're not sure, what we're really looking for is that thing. If you're not really sure, it tells you in the answer on the question. Prepare a cash flow statement for the year ended. So that becomes part of your heading. And the first thing that we want to put in there is my operating activities. So my operating activities, I'm going to put in my cash inflows first. So my cash inflows from operating activities. My first one will be cash sales. Now, I'm going to combine these two together because it's cash from customers. Now, if you don't, I'm not going to penalise you for it. And that comes in at 95,700. Okay, let's have a look. Next one down, I'll tick off this one and this one. My next one down is payments to suppliers. And that's 47,500. And because it's a payment, I'm going to bracket it to indicate that I need to subtract it. Have I got any other big ones? I've got payment of operating expenses, so operating expense. My operating expense was 7,000. I'll outflow that one. Let's have a look up. I've got interest on my loans, which is 80. interest, which was 80. That's an outflow as well. Tick that one off. Interest on my term deposits. Interest earned, received. What did we say it was? I've lost it now. Interest on term deposits is 10, and that's a cash inflow. My income tax is paid. Income tax 279, and that's a cash outflow. Now just let's have a look to see if I've got all of those. Yep. Interest, yep. Depreciation, okay, we don't have to worry about it. There we go. So that gives me all my cash flows for operating. So first I've got 95,700 minus 47,500 minus 7,000 minus 80 plus 10 minus 279 gives me 40,851. Next I'll be doing my investing activities. So my investing activities, I think we had a couple there. We had two, 400 and 500. So cash received from sales of investments, investment proceeds, investment proceeds was 400, so that was a positive. And payment of the purchase of a new building. Payment. Wish I could get a building for 500. That'd be nice. Alright, let's have a tick that one off. Was there any other investing activities? I don't think there was. 1, 2. That's it. So I've got those two. So I've got a cash outflow there of 100. And then I've got financing activities. Now my financing activities, the first one I had was issue of shares to new existing shareholders, share issue. So that's going to be a cash inflow of 1830. I got loan repayments of 230, now that's a cash outflow. We've got loans from ABC Bank. Now that's going to be loan proceeds, so that's going to be a cash inflow. 450. Dividends to shareholders is 50. Oh, can you see it? Yep, there we go. Paid. What did we say it was? 50. That's a cash outflow. And I think I have captured everything. Yep. So I'm just going to get a total there. 1830 minus 230. Plus 450 minus 50 gives me 2,000. And that's a positive number, so it's a cash inflow. So now I'm going to look for my net cash flow. My net cash flow will be the sum of these three things, which gives me 42,751. Good cash flow in this business. Now my opening cash at the 1st of the 1st, 16. I had to just check my dates there. My cash at bank was 650. So that becomes my opening cash position, 650. This business has done well this year. 42,751 plus 650. Oh, that doesn't look right. What did I do there? I'll do it again. 42, did I times it, did I? Okay. 650 comes 43,401 is my closing cash balance. And that's at the 31st of the 12th, 2016. So that takes care of that bit. Now, all right, so last question. I'll just get all that on screen for you. Okay, the last question says, discuss the validity of the statement that profitable companies are usually doing very well and as a consequence have a very strong net cash flow. Well, not true. Not true. Profit does not indicate, hang on, let me go. A business could be profitable but have poor cash flow. Not collecting from customers. On a timely basis. And so full stop. Cash flow can happen from items not in profit. So that takes care of that last part of the question. Oh, can I fit it on? No.